Happy Tuesday morning, everybody. Welcome to this segment of Tech Beat Bites. This is the inaugural segment, actually, of Tech Beat Bites. 3 on-point business tips in 5 minutes. I'm super excited to have my distinguished guest this morning, Danny Toney, with me. I'm going to come back around to Danny after we take care of a couple of quick housekeeping items. So, first of all, I'm Earl Foote, founder, CEO of Nexus IT. Nexus IT is an outsourced white glove IT services and cybersecurity firm based here in northern Utah and servicing a nationwide footprint. I did want to quickly mention that TechBeat and TechBeat Bites now are being syndicated across all major podcast platforms. So whether you like to listen to your podcast on Spotify or iHeartRadio or Pandora or Google or Apple or Podbean, wherever you check out your podcast, make sure to connect or to follow TechBeat out there. These segments are in audio format there. You're able to also listen to them, at 1.5 times or 2 times speed if you want to listen quicker in your car or at the gym or wherever you might be. We appreciate the support and the follows. I did want to mention that if you have questions about some of the ideas that Danny's going to share today about how to have meetings that don't suck, go ahead and post those in whatever platform you're joining us from. We will try to get to those questions around the end of this segment. This is TechBeat Bites is going to be a rapid fire segment, about 5 minutes once we bring Danny up on the screen here. Before we do that, I did want to mention some of the upcoming guests and segments that we have coming on TechBeat. We are booked out for most of this year. We've got a total rock star lineup of leaders and founders coming, and other individuals that are coming to share lots of really great ideas about how to make your ventures more successful. First of all, we've got Tanner Bells, founder CEO of Ragnar, Scott Paul, content creator for the Metaverse, Bassam Salem, CEO at Atlas RTX, Johnny Hanna, CEO and co-founder of Homey, Tim Cooley, author of the Pitch Deck book and executive director for Park City Angels, James Jensen, founder and CEO of Jump and creator of The Void. We've got Garrett Clark and John Bowers from Silicon Slopes coming on to share a little bit about the mission of Silicon Slopes and where that organization is headed. Of course, my guest, Danny Toney today, Levi Lindsay, Jeff Erickson. We've got Mindy Young and Nikki Walker, who are coming on to do a DEI session, Alyssa Garn, among others. So keep an eye out for announcements around those segments. And we're excited to have all those guests join us. So to the man of the hour, Danny Toney started a financial advisory firm at the age of 26. Over 5 years, Danny and his team grew the company by 5x. Danny left that business to become a full-time EOS implementer. EOS transformed Danny's financial advisory firm, which prompted the transition. As an EOS implementer, Danny helps business owners and leaders in Utah of small and medium-sized businesses in the 10 to 250 employee range get on the same page with their vision, execute that vision, and build healthy teams. So without further ado, let's bring up the man of the hour, Danny Toney himself.
Hello.
Danny, how are you this morning, my friend?
Good. I'm very happy to be here. How are you?
Doing fantastic. So happy to have you here. I really appreciate you joining me this morning. So Danny, before we kind of get into your top tips here for having meetings that don't suck, maybe just, I know we've got your bio there, but maybe just share a little bit about your journey and what brought you to where you're at now.
Yeah, happy to do that. So I'm a Utah kid, born and raised here. Music was a huge part of my life. I spent a year at the University of Utah studying music education, played the saxophone. Then I transferred to BYU and majored in business management and entrepreneurship. And that's really where my world was opened up to entrepreneurs and this idea of creating value and building teams. And I just fell in love. Really what drives me today is I just have a tremendous amount of respect for entrepreneurs and business owners because of what they are willing to do to bring value to their customers and their employees. And, it's hard to do that. So that's what drives me. That's what I love to do. Also, I am married and have 3 boys. Our house is a little crazy, but we love it.
Fantastic, Danny. Well, you and I are kindred spirits, I guess. Guys that love music and also love business. It's an interesting blend to try to figure out how you bring those two worlds together, right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so we've got a really great crowd here today. A lot of great friends out there. Shout out to Sonia Groening, to Nate Spears, to Vic Garcia, to Amber McClure, a lot of other people that are really excited about this topic today. So let's get down to it. I'm going to pull myself off the screen here, Danny. You're here to share with everybody your top 3 on point tips for having meetings that don't suck. So I'm out and you're on stage, buddy.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So the 3 tips that I'm going to share with you today, you can apply ASAP and they will definitely improve the meetings that you're in, or if they're going to cancel meetings that don't need to happen. And then after I share that, I'll share with you how to, if you want to go to the next level with your meetings, just a little bit of information that will help you go there. So tip number 1 is made up of 5 very short things. And this is specifically for the consistent meetings that need to happen, whether that's your management meeting or a team meeting. This meeting should be on the same day of every week or the same day of every other week. Start at the same time, use the same agenda, and then start on time and end on time. No excuses. So set that day, set that time. This will save all of you time on having to rearrange meetings. Oh, shoot, I scheduled a sales call or an ops meeting or whatever. Don't do that. The meetings that are important in your business, just fully commit to that same day, same time. The same agenda is also going to simplify things. Sure, there's going to be different items that need to be discussed each week, but the agenda can be dynamic enough for you to be able to cover what you need to cover each week. And then lastly, don't show up to meetings late. I mean, come on. This is important, valuable time. So show up 5 minutes early, be ready to go right when the clock turns to the time that it needs to start that meeting. And 5 minutes before the meeting needs to end, stop the conversation, wrap it up, and be done. Don't let meetings snowball into each other and push other meetings back. That will frustrate everybody. So that's tip number 1. Same day, same time, start on time, end on time, use the same agenda. Tip number 2 is no politicking and no tangents. And everybody in the meeting should feel comfortable, should have the authority to call those out. So most of us know what tangents are, where you're talking about one thing and then somebody says, oh, hey, that reminds me of something else. And you start talking about something else. Tangents can be useful in the sense that they will remind you of other important things, but the person running the meeting can simply do this when a tangent comes up. Just say, oh, hey, Jeff or Amber, really appreciate that you brought that up. I think that's important. I'm going to write that down so that we don't forget about it. And let's move back to what we're talking about. And then politicking, how I define it, is repeating yourself over and over again without listening to the differing opinions in the room. So when you're in a meeting, you should completely honestly share your opinion, make it clear, but then really listen to what everyone else is saying. If there's politicking or tangents going on, just the way to call that out is you're sitting in the meeting, just say, oh, hey, I think that's a tangent, or, oh, hey, I think you're politicking. So that's tip number 2. Then tip number 3 is just about the mindset. Meetings are really valuable time for the company. When you think about an executive team getting together, think about the value of all of your hours put together. And anyone else on the team, I mean, you're going from, one person just doing their job, let's say their time's worth $50 an hour. Well, now when you bring 5 of those people together, that value per hour goes up a lot. And so, in my opinion, meetings aren't the time to sit back and relax and shoot the breeze. Meetings are a time to bring the A game mindset and do great work. So stay focused, be present. Don't be checking email or multitasking. Be fully present in what's being talked about. Share your opinions. Do great work. So that's the third step. The third tip, all about your mindset. And then the last two things that I would say, and then that's my show, is if you're in a meeting with no purpose or an unclear purpose, and especially if you're in a consistent series of meetings where you're just not quite sure while you're there, please challenge that. And as a leader, if you are the leader of that meeting, it is 100% on you to make sure every meeting has a clear purpose. So if you're in those, maybe you don't need to have a meeting. Maybe you can take care of that communication via email or Volley or Slack or other technology. So those are the tips there. You can apply those ASAP and it will help your meetings. Now, the last thing I want to say is to really take your meetings to the next level. I would encourage you to check out a system like EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System, or another system like that. One of the biggest light bulb moments I had when we brought EOS into my financial advisory business is that your meetings can actually be the driver of momentum. It can be that thing that connects all of the important stuff in the business, from metrics to accountability to solving issues to getting things done. It can bring all of that together and really push the momentum forward. So if you really want to take it to the next level, check out different systems that you can run your business on and make sure your meetings are tying all of those pieces together. So that's it.
All right, Danny. Thank you so much for all of those great tips. Nobody really likes to have meetings, particularly ineffective, long, drawn out meetings, right? So appreciate you coming on to Tech Beat Bites today to share that information. Do you want to just quickly tell the audience where they can get a hold of you? If they have any further questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably the best place is on LinkedIn. You can just search Danny Toney, Toney, and send a connection request or send me a message, and I'll be happy to connect with you.
So awesome. Again, Danny, thanks for being my guest today on Tech Beat Bites. Thank you for our esteemed guests, everybody that joined us for this short little segment. We appreciate it. We hope you found some value. Danny and I are going to sign off, and we'll see you on the next segment of Tech Beat.